Quick question, how do you get a car that has the handling characteristics of a small tugboat to go around corners? Well, by far the cheapest and easiest way to do that is to add lightness, i.e. do weight reduction. And like I said, I'm not in the mood to do a bunch of work today, which means I'm definitely not in the mood to be working underneath the bonnet and getting myself full of grease, or to be working underneath the car and getting myself full of whatever the hell is on this floor. So I would say that that is a perfect opportunity for me to start dismantling this thing's interior. And it doesn't sound very exciting, but for me at least, it is very much so, because back when this thing was running, putting it on the drag strip, taking it around Swartkops, and just driving it in general, one of the biggest problems with it was that it was way fatter than it had any right being. It felt heavy and it was not as fast as it was meant to be. So let's fix that, or at least start fixing it. I've lost my stick. Now, this audio install has probably always been the biggest contributor to this being as heavy as it is. This entire thing was constructed out of particle board, and there's a lot of wiring. Way too much, if you ask me. In other words, there's no better place to start the weight savings than right here. Now, I honestly don't think that this is going to be the most fun job in the world, because I do not know how these structures are fastened to the vehicle. That structure is wedged in there really good. The wiring, I don't know where the wiring runs. And apparently the bottom structure of this was just sort of posi-drived or self-tapped into the body of the car. So yeah, let's get into it and see what we unearth. You know what? I'm not a big fan of the last person that worked on this thing, or in particular the last person who was responsible for installing this thing, but for some reason the entire thing is put together with regular Phillips head screws. But the four screws that hold it onto the vehicle, right about there, are these horrible square things that nobody ever has the right screwdriver for. Now, after having made a few plans that failed, I'm having to resort to this. That's gonna take forever, man. Now that I can wiggle these around, I should have enough wiggle room to try and jimmy that sub box out. Because I can't remove these before loosening them from the floor, and I can't loosen them from the floor without getting the sub box out of the way. That's going to be fun because that's very heavy. I'm not that strong, and like I said, it's wedged in there good, so it's going to take a fair amount of effort to get it out. Finally, I should be able to get to the guts of this thing. As you can see, the wiring is an absolute mess. I'll get to that probably in a future video, but now I should be able to get all of this out and then assess the damage to the floorboard, because like I said, all of this is just sort of haphazardly self-tapped into the floor, which is a bit worrying if you ask me. And at long last, finally. And there's the old CD changer. Back in high school, I actually crammed that thing full of a bunch of empty CDs, because I actually figured out how to get that thing to work with an aux, like a 3.5mm jack. I can't remember how I did it, but I got it to work in some way or form. Because no matter how fancy the sound install was, everything was from the early 2000s, so yeah. No aux input in sight. And last piece of the puzzle, let's get this out of the way. But now with everything out of the way, you can see sort of the mess that this wiring is in. Those of you that work with this stuff for a living are most likely cringing behind your phones. Look at it, it goes from this all the way down into the oh gosh. Now it's actually time for the main event because I gotta get that sub box out. That's never been fun. That thing probably weighs 20 or 30 kilograms all on its own. Just had a thought. Don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but I should probably weigh everything that I strip out of this thing. So that in the end, I can tally up my total weight savings. That would be a good idea. So yeah, I'm going to be removing the rear seats and the rest of this interior trimming here at the backing, cladding. What do I call those? The plastic stuff, the Tupperware, you know what I mean. I forgot I put that there. Now that all of this is out of the way, I should be able to start focusing on the important stuff after I've removed all this carpet, because for some reason it's been glued to the floor. So removing this carpet is going to suck. Okay, so far not too bad. Could have been worse, I guess. Well, I guess there is hope. All of this carpet came off with relative ease. So I've got high hopes for the rest of the carpet because it really has to go. I need to do some rust treatment. Anyways, just for interest sakes, this car came as white from factory, and then it was painted Uno Mambo, apparently. I'm not sure if that's the color's actual name, but it's an old Fiat color. And then I had it painted this beautiful Yes Marina blue, which you can't quite see because it's dusty as all hell at the moment. But yeah, I think that's enough for this thing for today. I think we're going to start packing up. You can see just how much stuff I was able to remove today. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You guys are going to want to subscribe and stay tuned for what else I do to this thing. Because I've got a few craftier ideas of how to do some weight savings on this thing, which I'm very excited about. So I think I'm going to load those up on the Hilux, take them into storage, and then revisit this thing after exams, because this was just about my last free weekend I had before my exams wrap up. Please let me know what you guys enjoyed, what you would like to see more of, what you would like to see less of. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.